It's election time again. Yeah, already. It's election time. Our Senator Mark Udall is going to be looking for approval from you this fall. Are you going to give it to him? Well, Obamacare is the big one. I'd like you to meet, again, Laura Carno. You're here for all sorts of good stuff.
Yes.
And this time under the banner udalllied.com.
Yes.
Here, pardon me. A politician lied. Call the newspaper. Yes, of course, a politician lied.
Yes.
What's the big deal?
This isn't the first time, and it won't be the last time.
Right.
But he told us we could keep our health plan. He told us we could keep our doctors. And just like Obama and Harry Reid, he looked us in the eye and he lied. And we're not okay with that. We get a choice in November.
Let me be very detailed. All right. Here in Colorado, I've got a lot of friends whose policy has been dropped. I've got a group policy, and mine went skyrocketing. I remember the president saying over and over, matter of fact, there's a great YouTube video of him saying something like 40 different clips of him going, if you like your health care plan, you can keep it. You like your doctor. He lied. I mean, it was obvious he lied, and he took a lot of heat for that. What exactly did Mark Udall do or say that he lied about? I don't remember him taking to the air saying, if you like your doctor, you can keep it.
Well, he was actually very smart about staying off of the airwaves with it, but he did say it to some newspapers, and he used very similar words to what the president said. He said, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your health plan, you can keep your health plan. And you know, I mean, we work in a world where we paid a lot of attention to the passage of Obamacare. We knew that people could lose their doctors and their health plans. So Senator Udall hasn't tried to say that he didn't lie or that he was mistaken or didn't understand it. And I would expect when you're a U.S. Senator and you have one job, which is passing legislation, that you would read the bill and understand it. And he's not.
Nobody read the bill. It was 2,000 pages. Nobody read the bill. You didn't read the bill.
No, but people did. And on our side, and you've got some folks that you work with that are hip deep in healthcare who read the bill, and we all knew that this could happen. We all knew that this was going toward limiting choices and raising costs. You can't add government bureaucracy and not raise costs.
Unlike all the other things that have surrounded this administration and what's passed in Washington, this one hits home. I think about the Fast and Furious debacle where law enforcement agents died because of government actions. And that's just huge, but it doesn't really affect my life. It's wrong, it's immoral, it's a cover-up, but it doesn't affect my life. This time, I'm paying thousands of dollars more than I did last year for health care. I've got a handicapped child, and he needs constant care, and this is a big deal for me. But I was told I could keep that plan. Now, I don't know if next year, since it's a group plan, if I'm going to be able to keep it. I have a feeling it's going to be cut just like all the others. So tell me, this hits home. This fib, and politicians fib all the time, this one is a different type of fib.
Right, and healthcare, it's a matter of life and death for a lot of people. I mean, we've all seen the stories about somebody is in the middle of cancer treatments and they've lost their doctor and lost their plan. So much for pre-existing conditions being covered, right? And in Colorado, 250,000 Coloradans have got their plans canceled, and so they are stuck with something they didn't want, coverage they don't need, and a plan that's too expensive for them.
Why is it Mark Udall's fault? I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. He's running for election, so the other senator voted for it as well. And my guess is if you poked around, you would have found that Michael Bennet also spread the lie that you could keep your health care insurance, because that was part of the talking points.
Yeah, so the Wall Street Journal identified Senator Mark Udall as one of the Obamacare dozen who cast that 60th vote that passed Obamacare. And without Mark Udall casting that vote on Christmas Eve 2009, we wouldn't have Obamacare. And I think that he was hearing from his constituents for sure that they didn't want Obamacare. But instead of listening to constituents, he voted the way Harry Reid asked him to vote. And we're all stuck with this now.
That Obamacare 12, let's go with that for a second. This was so contentious. Overwhelmingly in Colorado, people did not want it. Voters did not want it. Every poll said it. There was a backlash to it. I believe if Mark Udall is at all vulnerable this year, and that's a big if, he's got the right name. If you have the last name Udall and you live this side of the Mississippi, life is pretty good for you in politics. if there's one thing that's going to sink him, I believe it's going to be Obamacare and that 60th vote he gave for it. Is that the reason you're doing this project?
Well, also look at the polling. So when you say it's a big if, I don't think it's a big if. I think that he is very vulnerable. 40% of people say he deserves, voters in Colorado say he deserves re-election. And that is the heavy mantle of Obamacare around his neck.
I mean, you say that, but he's got one advantage. He will be running against a Republican. That's a huge advantage. We have a way of messing up Senate races in the last few years. I don't know if that one's going to be any different, but let's get back to it. You think he's vulnerable without Obamacare? I don't know. I think this is going to be the big decision. And how do you get that vote tied to him directly as the 60th?
Because it was the 60th vote. We had the camps of these are definite yeses, these are definite noes, and we had these people in the middle, and any one of them could have voted no and saved us all of the harm from Obamacare. And to your earlier question is, why did I decide to do this? It's not okay for politicians to lie to us. I understand that everybody says, well, all politicians lie. They work for us. And I've been doing a lot of different projects under the name of I Am Created Equal. It means I, the citizen, am created equal to you, the government official. You're not the boss of me. Politicians are not kings. You don't get to lie and ruin my life. This is America. We don't do that here.
You put together this advertisement. And I tell you what, let's take a look at it. But it's a great ad, and when I want to look at it, it's had a huge amount of traffic. And I'm going to ask you the big question, because this is a nice ad. It's getting all sorts of attention. Obviously, you paid a lot for it. I'll ask you right now, how much money is in this? Where are you getting your funding to get this word out?
Well, we're talking to people right now with this ad in hand and saying, help us get this on TV.
Yeah, that's nice. There's somebody bankrolling you that's got lots of money. What?
No. I paid a small amount for production on this. It is a very professionally produced piece. Paid for production on it, and everything else has been online, social media, got some national media attention. We're not on TV yet, and we would love to be, but that takes resources, so well, no bankrolling.
Let's debut it on television right now.
Perfect.
He lied. Take a look.
Senator Udall, 250,000 Coloradans and millions of people across our country had their health care plans canceled because of you. We gave you a chance to lead, Senator Udall. We gave you a chance to look out for us. But you ignored us and listened to Harry Reid? We won't forget what you did, Senator Udall, because you didn't just let us down. You looked us in the eye and you lied.
Remind me not to piss you off, because you look pissed there. All right, I wouldn't want to be your husband when he tells a fib, because you don't look pleasant there.
I have the nicest husband.
Oh yeah, and he's never lied to you.
No.
Have you ever asked him, does this make my butt look big?
I would never ask that question.
Good point. All right, how much have you spent on this so far?
$500.
$500. But I mean, I know that the calls are going to come out. This is well funded. This is what do you hope happens with this campaign?
So Senator Udall is sitting on a $4 million war chest, and he is putting out to his donors the offer to get to meet Robert Redford if they would only give him more money. And we're not going to raise $4 million. I don't think that's going to happen. But what we want to do now in January is define him for what he did, because we know that when the Republicans, when the Republican nominee is determined, that the Democrats are going to put millions and millions of dollars into making that person look like the worst person in the world. And I don't want Mark Udall to be sitting on the sidelines getting a pass when he lied to us and told us that Obamacare was going to be okay, and it's not.
Did he lie, or was he just wrong? Sometimes you say something and you're in error. Was he just wrong, like the president might have just been wrong? How do you know he was lying about it?
PolitiFact called it the lie of the year. And Kirsten Gillibrand said in an interview that everyone knew that people weren't going to keep their plans. So I think the Republicans knew because they looked into it. The Democrats knew because they knew where they were going, and we were the ones being lied to, the public.
I got to say, it wasn't a big stretch to know it was a lie. You looked at the law, You understood that these were going to get canceled. How many in Colorado got canceled?
250,000.
All right. Complete Colorado did an interesting little investigation. There's some communication between Mark Udall's office and the state. What was that story?
The Colorado Division of Insurance. So Udall sent his staff to the Colorado Division of Insurance and tried to get them to retract this $250,000 or 250,000 people losing their health plan number. And the Denver Post, not a conservative outfit, agrees with the 250. Colorado Springs Gazette agrees with the 250. It's a pretty settled number.
Well, it's a number that came from the state government, but this email exchange between the state agency and Udall's office was, shall we say, terse?
Well,
what did Udall want?
Yeah, the article you're talking about called it strong arm tactics, and I issued a statement today and referred to it as bullying. And it's not okay for when you get caught in a lie and then you try to cover it up. That has never worked out in the history of politics, and I think that's what they're trying to do.
If I understand it correctly, basically the Udall office was demanding that the state lower the number, saying, no, that's not the right, you've got to lower the number because this looks bad. And the state, these were private emails going, no, this is the number. This is 250,000 people in Colorado lost their insurance coverage. They weren't able to keep it. That's the reality.
Right. And a federal government official trying to bully a state government official who is really trying to just protect the integrity of the work that they're doing in that office. And you don't have to ask too many Coloradans to feel like that 250 is right, because everybody I know, if they didn't have an effect to their insurance themselves, they know people.
What do you want Udall to do? I mean, be honest. All right, he said this. It's been recorded. He's put it out. He said the big fib. We got a president who said the big fib. He doesn't seem to be, he's still in office. What is it you want Mark to do? Right,
and he's even doubling down, because since then, in the years since it's passed, he says he's very proud of Obamacare. I don't know that I want him to do anything. He's not going to do anything aside from just double down on the lie. I think they are all going to go down with the ship.
Do you want him to come clean?
I don't think he's going to.
Wouldn't it be nice?
It'd be nice if we had a politician who said, I'm really sorry that my actions hurt you. It's not going to happen.
Are you going to be as tough on Republicans when you catch them in a lie?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lying is wrong. It's a bipartisan issue.
All right. People go to udalllied.com. What are they going to find?
Yeah, at udalllied.com, you're going to see the video that you just showed actually hasn't been out there yet. So this was really the debut. There is a shorter 15-second video that they'll see, same type of message. And then all of the citations for what we're saying and why it's true, and where they can go to do their own research.
Do their own research, verify it for yourself, you can find it on a link.
Right, and then at the very bottom is a button called Donate, and I would encourage people to click on that if you want to see it on TV.
udalllied.com. Laura, thank you. Thank you. Listen for me on KHOW Radio. Tell a friend, and we'll see you next week. Did I say week? We'll see you. We'll see you. We'll talk. We'll talk.